The dawn of freedom. Nkrumah's fight for Ghana's independence. Kwame Nkrumah was a man with a dream, a vision that transcended the boundaries of his homeland. He dreamt of a free Africa, an Africa where every nation could stand tall and proud, an Africa free from colonial rule, where the people could determine their own destiny. He wanted to see his people liberated, to see them thrive in a land of their own making. Nkrumah was born in Ghana, a country then known as the Gold Coast, rich in history and culture. The Gold Coast was under British control, a reality that Nkrumah found deeply troubling. Nkrumah saw the injustice of colonialism, the exploitation and the suppression of his people. He knew things had to change, that the status quo could not continue. Nkrumah went abroad to study, seeking knowledge and inspiration from the wider world. He learned new ideas in America and England, ideas that would fuel his passion for change. He became inspired by movements for freedom and equality, seeing parallels with his own struggle. He met other Pan-African thinkers, visionaries who shared his dream of a liberated continent. These thinkers believed in a united and strong Africa, an Africa that could stand on its own. Nkrumah returned to Ghana with a fire in his heart, ready to lead his people to freedom. He formed the Convention People's Party, or CPP, a political force dedicated to independence. The CPP fought for independence from British rule, rallying the masses to their cause. They wanted self-government for Ghana, a nation governed by its own people. Nkrumah's message resonated with the people, igniting a fervor for independence. He spoke of freedom, justice, and opportunity, a future where Ghana could shine brightly on the world stage. A united Africa, Nkrumah's vision of Pan-Africanism. Kwame Nkrumah had a dream that stretched beyond the borders of Ghana. He envisioned a continent where all African nations would come together as one. He envisioned a united Africa, free from the chains of colonialism and oppression. This was the heart of Pan-Africanism, a movement that sought to unify and uplift the African continent. Nkrumah believed that a divided Africa was a weak Africa. He saw unity as the key to strength and prosperity. He saw the colonial powers as a threat to this vision. Their divide and rule tactics were designed to keep Africa fragmented. He knew they would exploit a fragmented continent, taking advantage of its divisions to maintain control. He argued passionately that African nations must unite, not just for political freedom but for economic and social progress. In 1957, Ghana achieved independence. It was a historic moment, a beacon of hope for the entire continent. It was a historic moment, marking the dawn of a new era for Africa. Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to break free from colonial rule, setting a precedent for others to follow. Nkrumah became the country's first prime minister, a role he used to champion the cause of Pan-Africanism. Nkrumah saw Ghana's independence as a crucial first step toward a larger goal. It was a step toward a larger goal of continental unity and collective progress. He wanted to see a United States of Africa, a powerful and united federation of African states. He worked tirelessly to bring African leaders together, fostering a spirit of unity and cooperation. He wanted to forge a common destiny for the continent, believing that only through unity could Africa achieve true freedom and prosperity. The chains of neocolonialism, Nkrumah's warning to the continent. His words were a clarion call to all African nations. Nkrumah's vision faced a new threat, neocolonialism. This was a more insidious form of control. He warned that colonialism had not truly ended, it had merely evolved. He saw it taking a new form, one that was harder to detect but equally oppressive. Neocolonialism, according to Nkrumah, was subtle but dangerous. It infiltrated economies and politics. It meant that Western powers still held economic and political control. They pulled the strings from afar. They did this through unfair trade deals and manipulation. The exploitation continued under a new guise. Nkrumah argued that true independence meant more than just political freedom. It was about economic sovereignty. It meant controlling your own resources. Only then could nations truly be free. It meant building your own economies. Self-reliance was key to genuine independence. He criticized Western countries for exploiting Africa's wealth. They reaped benefits while Africa remained impoverished. Nkrumah's warnings resonated with many. His message was clear and urgent. He became a leading voice in the non-aligned movement. This was a coalition of countries seeking true independence. This movement brought together nations that wanted to remain independent. They sought to avoid the influence of superpowers. They did not want to side with major powers during the Cold War. They aimed for a path of neutrality and self-determination. Nkrumah believed in action and decisive leadership. He implemented policies to make Ghana economically independent and self-reliant. He knew this was crucial to resist neocolonialism and foreign domination. Nkrumah invested heavily in education for the nation's future. He built new schools and universities across the country. He believed that education was the key to progress and development. He knew it would empower future generations. He focused on industrialization and modernization. He wanted Ghana to move beyond being an exporter of raw materials. He established state-owned industries to achieve this. These industries focused on manufacturing and processing goods locally. Nkrumah also embarked on ambitious infrastructure projects to support economic growth. He built the Akosombo Dam to provide electricity. He improved transportation networks significantly. He aimed to modernize Ghana and make it self-sufficient in every possible way. Nkrumah's ambitious policies were not without their critics. His vision for a socialist Ghana faced opposition. Some saw his policies as too radical. Western powers felt threatened by Nkrumah's stance against neocolonialism. They saw him as a challenge to their interests in Africa. They used their influence to undermine his government. Nkrumah also faced opposition from within Ghana. Some traditional leaders felt their power was being diminished. Some groups felt marginalized by his policies. Nkrumah's government, in response to the growing opposition, became increasingly authoritarian. He cracked down on dissent. He restricted freedoms. He saw these measures as necessary to preserve his vision. The growing opposition to Nkrumah's rule culminated in his downfall. In 1966, while Nkrumah was on a trip to Vietnam, a military coup d'état took place in Ghana. The coup leaders accused Nkrumah of becoming a dictator. They claimed he had lost touch with the people. They promised to restore democracy and freedom. Nkrumah was forced into exile. He found refuge in Guinea, where he was welcomed by President Sékou Touré. He lived the rest of his days in Conakry, Guinea. He never set foot in Ghana again. Nkrumah's overthrow was a blow to the Pan-African movement. It highlighted the challenges of pursuing radical change. It showed the vulnerability of newly independent nations. Kwame Nkrumah may have died in exile, but his ideas continued to resonate. His legacy as a Pan-Africanist and anti-colonial leader remained strong. He became a symbol of resistance against imperialism. Nkrumah's writings on neocolonialism gained new relevance. They provided a framework for understanding the ongoing struggles of post-colonial nations. His call for African unity continued to inspire. The formation of the African Union was a testament to his enduring vision. Kwame Nkrumah's life was a testament to the power of ideas. He showed the world that even in the face of oppression, hope could flourish. His legacy continues to inspire generations to fight for a more just and equitable world. Please subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on historical figures and their impact.